Hi, I'm Nancy Chase from Ingleside Farm, and today I'm going to teach you how to make felted soap. Everything you need comes in our kit, which you can buy on our shop at Etsy. The only thing you have to add is a bowl of water and a little bit of thyme. The first thing you want to do is unwrap your soap, take off the label, there it is. And you want to take your wool out of the bag so that you can get to it easily once you start making your felt. Now there's more wool that comes in the kit than you probably will need to felt your soap. I put a little bit extra in the kits just in case. So don't feel you have to use all of the wool in order to make your soap. You're going to have a little bit of extra. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, you'll find that your wool will sort of naturally come apart in about fist-sized balls. That's because of the way that I carded it for you. You want to take these balls and just unroll them and lay them flat like that. And then you're going to want to take your soap and just wrap the wool around it. Just hold it gently but firmly and wrap the wool around. Now you want to take your next ball of wool and wrap it in the opposite direction. See, I went crossways on the wool on the soap the first time. Now I'm going to wrap the wool lengthways around the soap the second time. Okay, and you want to spread out the wool so that your soap, all the surfaces of your soap are covered. Now I usually find that about 3 wraps is a good amount to cover the soap. So I'm going to wrap one more ball of wool around the soap again, and I'm going to alternate directions again, so I'm going crossways again this time. And I wrap it around, and there it is. You can see that all the sides of the soap are covered. Now comes the fun part. Here's your bowl of hot water. You're going to want it to be hot, about as hot as you can comfortably put your hands in, not so hot that you burn yourself. And holding your wool carefully against your soap, you just submerge the soap for a second, and then you take it out. Let it drain for a little bit, and then all you want to do is just start gently patting the wool against your soap. And you can wet your hands again if you want to. And at this stage, you're going to think, this is never going to work. This is just, kind of sliding all over the place. But just keep gently rubbing and patting the wool against your soap. And trust me, it will start to work. You just rub very gently and press the wool against the soap, and you will see that the soap will start to lather. And you just keep squeezing it and pressing it. Rub it with your thumbs, rub it with the palms of your hands. Turn it over and over to make sure you get all the sides. Just keep pressing it. And in just a minute or two, you will see that this wool is already starting to stick together. Now see, it's not falling off anymore. Not felted completely yet, but it's hanging in there. And once it just starts to solidify, Then all you have to do is keep rubbing. When you first start rubbing the soap, you want to be very gentle so you don't push the wool aside and uncover the bare surface of your soap. But once it's started to solidify like this, you can start being more vigorous. And you just, flip it over and over in your hands, pressing and pressing, to make sure that you equally felt all sides of the soap. You just keep doing this, sliding the soap around and around in your hands. And at this point, it's started to felt, but you can feel that you can still squish it around. That means it's not done yet. So you just keep doing this for about maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And at the end of that time, you will find that your soap has a lovely coating of wool felt all around the outside of it. If you need to, you can dip your soap in the water again, squeeze the excess water out, and just keep massaging the soap. The movement you're making is very similar to the movement you would be using if you're just washing your hands with this bar of soap. You don't need to apply a lot of pressure, just repetitive, firm, gentle pressure. This wool comes from my own flock of Icelandic sheep that I raise on my farm in Virginia, and Icelandic wool is one of the most prized wools for felting because it felts so very quickly and easily. So this task is not a difficult task at all. So I'm just going to keep massaging this soap, and in a few minutes you'll get to see the finished bar. When your soap is finished, it's going to look something like this. You can see that the wool has formed a firm coating on all sides of the soap, and it's shrunk to fit the contours of the soap. You can push it a little bit and it still stays in place without shifting to either side. So when your soap is completed, you can just set it down on a towel or other absorbent surface to dry, and you're finished. Now that you've seen how easy it is, you're ready to try it yourself. Our felted soap kits come with everything you need to make your own beautiful, luxurious felted soaps in your choice of 5 natural colors: white, beige, brown, black, and gray. Our luscious soap is handmade in small batches from the milk of our very own Icelandic sheep. Each big, long-lasting bar weighs about 4 ounces and contains only the most natural of ingredients: olive oil, sheep's milk, water, lye, and pure essential oils. Our wool comes from my own flock. I shear the sheep myself, wash the wool by hand, and card it the old-fashioned way with hand carders. The color is the natural color of the sheep. No dye has been used. We love our sheep and want you to love them too. Each bag of wool comes with an info card showing the name and photo of the specific sheep who provided that wool.